In the world of women's basketball, few names command as much respect as Sheryl Swoopes. Known for her legendary career and fierce competitiveness, Swoopes has never been one to hold back her opinions. Recently, she set her sights on one of the game's rising stars, Caitlin Clark, sparking conversations and controversy. From Clark's explosive performances to her growing influence on the court, Swoopes has voiced some strong opinions, and they're not all praise. What exactly is behind this brewing tension between the two? Let's dive into the heart of the issue.
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about bullies, we can talk about every time Caitlin has the ball, she pushes off.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying, like...
But she has the...
If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it. If Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. Yeah, that'll go in the record books as Caitlin Clark is the all-time, whatever it is. I don't even know what the number is, but that's the way it'll be. And I don't think it should be.
Caitlin Clark has quickly become a sensation in women's basketball. Her incredible scoring ability, court vision, and tenacity have made her one of the most talked-about players in the game today. From breaking records at Iowa to drawing comparisons to some of the sport's biggest stars, Clark's meteoric rise has captured the attention of fans, players, and analysts alike. But not everyone is as impressed, Sheryl Swoopes included. Clark's offensive game has left opponents stunned and viewers in awe. Her ability to pull up from nearly anywhere on the court and her flashy passes have earned her the reputation of being one of the most exciting players to watch. However, this same style of play has made her a polarizing figure.
So I don't have any hard feelings towards Caitlin. My thing is when you put these expectations on these young women in college to go to the next level and be immediately dominant. And when that doesn't happen, then people come back and say, oh, she was a bust, she was a flop, she wasn't that good. Like, just let them do what they're doing and let them become stars in the WNBA. Like, it's not about me liking you, not liking you, me hating on you. Like, I don't even know how to let those words come out of my mouth. But so to like every single person on social media that like held it down for me, like I got mad love and respect for all of them for showing up and showing out and making sure that I was good.
While some celebrate her as the future of women's basketball, others, including Swoopes, believe her game has some serious flaws. When Sheryl Swoopes speaks, people listen. A WNBA Hall of Famer and four-time champion, Swoopes helped build the foundation of the league and knows the game inside out. So when she voiced her opinions on Caitlin Clark, it sparked a major debate. Swoopes' criticism centers around Clark's flashy, sometimes risky style of play. While Clark is undeniably talented, Swoopes has suggested that her game lacks the discipline and maturity needed to consistently perform at the highest level. She's called out Clark's tendency to rely heavily on her scoring ability, questioning whether she has what it takes to lead a team to championships. According to Swoopes, Clark's talent is undeniable, but her decision-making and consistency on defense need improvement. Some of Swoopes' criticism has also been focused on Clark's attitude. Clark is known for her fiery personality on the court, often displaying her emotions in big moments. While this has earned her a legion of fans, Swoopes has hinted that this might be a double-edged sword, potentially alienating teammates and creating unnecessary tension in high-pressure situations.
Good for the Olympics. Your argument, though I don't buy it, but it was your argument, women's basketball, that she would be a distraction. I roll, but okay. So isn't the perfect place to put her in the skills competition, where she's one of the best three-point shooters and she's a highly skilled player.
Many fans and analysts disagree with Swoops' assessment, pointing out that Clark is still young and has time to develop the areas of her game that Swoops has highlighted. After all, players like Swoops herself took years to refine their skills and adapt to the demands of professional basketball. Clark's supporters argue that her confidence and aggression are what make her great, and that in time she will learn to channel those traits more effectively. Moreover, Clark's leadership has been on full display at Iowa, where she's consistently elevated her team's performance. Her ability to score in bunches and create plays for her teammates has helped lead Iowa to multiple deep runs in the NCAA tournament, cementing her status as one of the top players in the country. For many, Clark represents the next generation of basketball, and her unique style is what will continue to grow the game. So, how has Caitlin Clark responded to the criticism from a legend like Sheryl Swoops? Unsurprisingly, Clark has taken the high road. In interviews, she's remained focused on improving her game and helping her team win. She's acknowledged that there are always areas to work on, but hasn't let the critiques shake her confidence. Instead, Clark has used it as motivation to further elevate her play. Clark's resilience in the face of criticism shows a level of maturity that her critics might not have expected. Despite the harsh words, she's stayed grounded and continues to perform at an elite level. Her ability to handle this kind of pressure is yet another testament to her potential as a future star in the WNBA.
I think Angel will eventually be a good pro. I don't think Angel will come into the league immediately and dominate the way people think she will. And I say that for people who have never watched a WNBA game. It's good. Like there's talent. Like these women can play. And because there are very few roster spots. Like it's a real job. So people look at new players coming in, whether that's out of college, players who've been overseas, and they look at that and say, oh, you trying to come take my job. Like, nah, it's not gonna be that easy. So will Caitlin Clark be a good pro? Absolutely. Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately? Absolutely not. Not gonna happen.
Okay. Not on the right team?
I roll, but okay. So isn't the perfect place to put her in the skills competition, where she's one of the best three-point shooters, and she's a highly skilled player?
Some observers have noted that the tension between Swoops and Clark may be emblematic of a larger generational divide in basketball.
Thank God the WNBA didn't go 0 for 3. They did find it in their heart to put her on the WNBA All-Star team. She's paying for everything, and you want her to pay her dues. It's really ridiculous. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Bird and Magic came into the league, and they put them on everything. They tried to highlight them because the NBA was more secure in itself. They understood Bird and Magic could elevate all the players, the league, the revenue, the pie, the pettiness. You got to get her in the skills competition. What are you doing? You should have her on the Olympic team. What are you doing?
Swoops comes from a time when fundamentals and teamwork were prioritized above all else. Players were expected to play within a system and rarely sought individual glory over the team's success. The basketball world is ablaze with excitement as Caitlin Clark has just been crowned the #1 player in history. In a sport filled with legends, Clark's rise to the top is nothing short of extraordinary. Her electrifying performances, combined with an unparalleled ability to dominate the game, have redefined what it means to be the best. This moment marks a turning point in basketball history, as Clark's achievement forces us to rethink the standards of greatness. As she steps into the spotlight, the impact of her legacy is already beginning to ripple through the sport. inspiring a new generation and sparking intense debate about what it truly means to be the greatest of all time.
The Indiana Fever will select Caitlin as a #1 pick in the WNBA draft. And get this, guys. Okay, she was in the second grade, and she said her teacher handed out these sheets with little bubbles, and they were told to put in their goals and their dreams. Caitlin Clark wrote in the second grade, dreaming of playing one day in the WNBA, and her mama still has that sheet.
Caitlin Clark's recent crowning as the #1 player in history has sent shockwaves through the world of basketball. It's a title that carries immense weight, one that has sparked celebration, debate, and reflection on the evolution of the sport. To understand the magnitude of this moment, it's essential to delve into Clark's journey, her impact on the game, and what this accolade means in the context of basketball's rich history. Caitlin Clark's rise to the top has been nothing short of meteoric. From her early days as a high school phenom to her dominance at the collegiate level, Clark has consistently shattered expectations.
When they played LSU, but she's phenomenal. I'm going to go on the record and say she's the best female collegiate player ever.
Ever? Well, I don't know about you. You ever heard of Cheryl Miller,
ever.
Maya Moore?
I said what I said. Ever.
Diana Taurasi?
I said what I said.
No disrespect.
Listen,
Caitlin Clark is amazing.
This is my opinion.
Candace Parker? Nobody's ever shot it like her. No, she's like Steph Curry.
Yeah,
you're right.
Listen, I ain't disrespecting nobody. It's just my opinion, and I ain't going to change it. How about that?
Her playing style is a unique blend of precision, athleticism, and a deep understanding of the game. Whether it's her three-point shooting, her ability to orchestrate the offense, or her knack for delivering in clutch moments, Clark has proven time and again that she's a once-in-a-generation talent. But what truly sets Clark apart is not just her skill set, but the way she approaches the game. There's a certain poise and confidence in her play that has captivated fans and critics alike. She plays with a sense of purpose, as if she's always 2 steps ahead, anticipating the next move before anyone else on the court even realizes what's happening. This basketball IQ, combined with her physical gifts, makes her a nightmare for opponents and a dream for coaches. Clark's journey to becoming the #1 player in history has been marked by numerous milestones. At every stage of her career, she's faced challenges and surpassed them with flying colors. In high school, she was already being compared to some of the greats, and by the time she reached college, it was clear that she was destined for something special. Her ability to elevate her game when it matters most has been a hallmark of her career. Whether it's hitting a game-winning shot or leading her team through a tough stretch, Clark has consistently delivered in the most crucial moments.
Well, I think there's pros and cons to both sides, and that's what made the decision so difficult. It was almost a win-win, but at the same time a lose-lose because I was giving up something, and I'm just kind of ready for the next chapter and a new challenge in my life. But I think the reason I decided to announce it when I did was just to have that closure, especially going into senior night.
The statistics alone paint a picture of a player who is unparalleled in her generation. She's broken records, set new standards, and consistently been at the top of the leaderboard in almost every significant category. But statistics only tell part of the story. What makes Clark's achievement even more remarkable is the context in which it has occurred. She's not just playing the game, she's redefining it. In a sport that has been dominated by legends like Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, and Maya Moore, Clark's ascent to the top is a testament to her extraordinary talent and hard work. But it's also a reflection of how the game itself has evolved. The women's game today is faster, more physical, and more competitive than ever before. The players are more skilled, the teams are deeper, and the level of play has reached new heights. In this environment, for Clark to be recognized as the greatest is a statement not just about her abilities, but about the future of the sport. Her impact extends beyond the court. Clark has become a cultural icon, inspiring a new generation of players who see her as a role model. She's shown that it's possible to be both an elite athlete and a leader, both on and off the court. Her presence has brought more attention to women's basketball, drawing in fans who might not have otherwise been interested in the sport. In many ways, Clark is not just the face of the game today. She's shaping its future. But with such an accolade comes the inevitable comparisons. Is Caitlin Clark truly the greatest player in history? It's a question that has sparked intense debate among fans, analysts, and former players. Some argue that her dominance in today's game is unmatched, that she's taken the sport to places it's never been before. Others point to the legends of the past, players who paved the way for Clark and whose contributions to the game are still felt today. The comparison game is tricky. Each era of basketball has had its own challenges, its own style of play, and its own standout players. The legends of the past played in a different context, facing different kinds of competition and under different rules. Players like Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie, and Tamika Catchings were pioneers, breaking barriers and setting new standards at a time when women's basketball was still fighting for recognition. Their contributions laid the foundation for the game as it is today, and without them, it's hard to imagine someone like Clark reaching the heights she has.
She's incredible. I mean, especially to the exact shot that she broke it. I mean, I think that pretty much sums it up, right? Just pulling up from basically half court. But I love it. It's so good for the game. It's really cool to see somebody just not be afraid of the moment, and just excited for her. And who knows? You know, everyone's trying to figure out she's coming out or she's staying put. But you know, if I'm Iowa, I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at her for sure.
Yet, what makes Clark's achievement so significant is that she's not just following in the footsteps of these legends. She's blazing her own trail. She's taking the game to places even they couldn't have imagined, pushing the boundaries of what's possible and setting new standards for future generations. In this sense, her crowning as the #1 player in history isn't just about her individual talent, it's about the culmination of everything that has come before her and the new path she's creating for those who will come after. It's also important to consider the broader impact of Clark's recognition. In a world where women's sports still struggle for the same level of attention and respect as men's sports, Clark's achievement is a powerful statement. It's a reminder that women's basketball is just as exciting, just as competitive, and just as worthy of recognition as its male counterpart. Clark's crowning is a victory not just for her, but for the entire sport, a sign that the game is finally getting the respect and attention it deserves. However, with this recognition also comes pressure. Being named the #1 player in history is an incredible honor, but it also sets the bar incredibly high. Clark now carries the weight of expectation, with every move she makes scrutinized and every performance judged against the lofty standards that have been set for her. It's a burden that few athletes have had to bear, and how Clark handles it will be a key part of her legacy. So far, all signs suggest that Clark is more than up to the challenge. She's shown time and again that she thrives under pressure, that she embraces the big moments rather than shying away from them. But as her career continues to unfold, it will be fascinating to see how she navigates this new chapter. The showdown between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese became one of the most talked about moments in college basketball history. In the 2023 NCAA Women's Championship, these two titans of the sport clashed not just for the title, but for personal pride. Caitlin Clark, known for her sharp shooting and relentless determination, found herself facing Angel Reese, a dominant force on the court. However, as the game unfolded, It wasn't just about the score. It became a battle of egos, and in a surprising twist, Clark managed to completely outshine and embarrass Reese in a way no one saw coming. What followed was a display of basketball brilliance that left her critics, including Reese, stunned and speechless.
The WNBA tried to capitalize on her popularity and crammed a lot of games in over a short amount of time, playing against the best teams in the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark entered the 2023 NCAA Women's Basketball Championship with a reputation that was nearly impossible to overlook.
Diana Taurasi knows how to get Brittany Griner the ball on the inside more than anyone else on the team does. Like, there's no way as a professional athlete you can sit here and completely discount what team chemistry and player chemistry stands for and what that means.
Her scoring abilities were unrivaled. Her basketball IQ was off the charts, and her competitive fire was something even her opponents had to respect. Angel Reese, on the other hand, was also a force to be reckoned with.
Caitlin Clark is the biggest star in American sports. There's not one other American athlete that could do what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA or for any league.
I think she should be up for MVP.
LSU's star player was known for her dominance in the paint, her ability to control the boards, and her no-nonsense attitude. Reese had established herself as a fierce competitor.
She's having impact on her team that nobody else in the league is having on her team. This is a team that went 13-27 last year. And suddenly, the Indiana Fever are the hottest team by far in the league.
But as this game would soon show, Caitlin Clark was on a whole different level. From the opening tip, it was clear that Clark wasn't there just to compete. She was there to win, and to do so in a way that no one could ignore.
2,826 gallons of beer have been sold.
Wow.
Draft beer. That's an increase of 740%. Hot dog sales up 300%.
Iowa's offense was built around her. Every move, every pass, every shot seemed to flow through Clark.
Her three-point shooting has heated up, and nobody in the league can flick logo threes as effortlessly as Caitlin can.
She moved with purpose, directing her teammates with a point or a glance, almost as if the game was moving in slow motion for her. And then, just minutes into the game, she made her presence felt.
What Caitlin Clark does is kind of simple, really. She shows up at games, she signs autographs, she talks to little girls wearing jerseys, she smiles to the crowd, and then here's the most important thing. She competes like a maniac. I mean, like a maniac.
Clark pulled up from well beyond the three-point line, with a defender in her face, and drained the shot as if it were the easiest thing in the world.
And I think in overall popularity, does her race play a factor? Nominal. Women's basketball has had a cornucopia of talented white and black women's basketball players. Elena Delle Donne is white, is she not? Sue Bird, white, is she not? Asia Wilson's black. Cynthia Cooper, black. Like, you can go back through, and it's actually a lot more. There's gay and there's straight. There's black and there's white. There's tall and there's short.
The crowd erupted. But for Clark, it was just another day at the office. Angel Reese, guarding the paint, could only watch as Iowa built an early lead. She was supposed to be the difference maker for LSU, but Clark was making her impact look insignificant.
Splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane. That should be celebrated, and it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up.
As the first half progressed, Reese tried to impose her will inside. She grabbed rebounds, pushed through double teams, and scored on putbacks, but for every basket Reese made, Clark had an answer.
No one like Caitlin Clark. In the history of the WNBA,
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect.
No one cares what skin color you are. You know what America loves? Let me break it down for you. We love.
And Clark's answers weren't just simple layups or mid-range shots. They were back-breaking long-range threes that seemed to demoralize the LSU defense.
Any other player we have ever seen in the women's game, and it starts with the distance with which she shoots the basketball. We've never seen a player shoot from that deep range with that kind of efficiency.
I just love that she tries to stay grounded, and she says she doesn't, what did she say, she doesn't have a social, she doesn't look at her social, and I get it. I don't either, and I think it's so important to continue to do what she's doing, and no matter what other people do, then if people are negative, it's because they can't do what you do.
Each time Reese would try to bring her team back within striking distance, Clark would casually drill another three-pointer, often from well beyond the arc.
I've got the fever. I can't help it. I can't stop watching. I can't stop talking about the impact Caitlin Clark is having on game after game after game. Caitlin Clark is starting to push A'ja Wilson for MVP of this league, and I am not exaggerating. She is starting to push A'ja as the best player in the league because I don't see anybody control a game the way Caitlin can.
What made Clark's dominance even more impressive was her court vision. She wasn't just scoring at will, she was orchestrating Iowa's entire offense.
Caitlin Clark now has the rookie record, the history of the WNBA. She's now going to try to set the all-time record, but 12 games to go. Now, this is happening exactly how I scripted it. I think that was lost on a lot of people. Watch her play. She plays at a high level, highly skilled. She's the best passer in America, and she's the best shooter in America.
When defenders doubled her, she'd find an open teammate with a no-look pass.
There's nothing, Shannon. You just want to support that white girl. She busting y'all ass. If you like Caitlin Clark, you gotta hate Angel. And if you love Angel, you can't say anything good about Caitlin Clark. Y'all can't tell me what the F to say. I'm gonna say what I want to say.
Yeah. The media frenzy that followed only added to the narrative. Pundits and fans alike marveled at Clark's performance, calling it one of the most clutch performances in recent memory.
I think it's a huge thing. I think a lot of people say it's not about black and white, but to me, it is. It's really because you can be the top notch at what you do as a black woman, but maybe there's something that people don't want to see. Wilson said to the Associated Press.
Social media lit up with clips of Clark's deep threes, her dazzling passes, and her cool demeanor in the face of Reese's taunts. It was clear that Caitlin Clark had solidified herself as the best player in women's college basketball.
Once you see the ball go through the basket a little bit, like I still had a few in and outs, so I'm like, man, how's it not going in? But I felt like I played a good game. My shot felt well. I thought we could have moved the ball a little bit better, but overall, I thought we played well. Our defense could have been a little bit better, especially to start the game. But I'm proud of this group, and I'm really thankful for these fans. It's been a fun season inside here, and hopefully we can bring the playoffs back here for a few times for them as well.
And no amount of trash talk or physicality could change that. As the dust settled, the rivalry between Clark and Reese became a defining storyline of the season.
Splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane. That should be celebrated, and it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up.
Reese had her moments throughout the year, but on that day, Caitlin Clark proved that when it mattered most, she was untouchable.
As a scorer, like when you see a couple go down like that, like you just have all the confidence in the world. The basket looks really big. So I know exactly how she felt. Like she was just in the zone. Like, and really they played good defense multiple times. Like there's just nothing you can do in those situations where she's making step back threes, one-legged floaters, things like that. Like you literally cannot guard it. And like I said on the broadcast,
her performance wasn't just about basketball. It was about rising above the noise, staying focused, and delivering when the lights were brightest. And in doing so, she not only embarrassed her bully, but also set a new standard for what greatness looks like on the court. Caitlin Clark just made headlines again by shattering an 18-year-old record with a stunning 35-point performance. the young phenom continues to dominate the basketball court, setting a new benchmark in scoring and raising the bar for future players. This historic achievement adds to her already impressive resume, leaving fans and analysts in awe. Her latest performance not only highlights her scoring prowess, but also solidifies her as one of the most influential athletes in women's basketball today.
Yeah, I thought we could have executed a little bit better there at the end. Like, we got that 8-point lead, and then I had a few turnovers that can't happen, and didn't execute offensively during that last minute, but made plays when we needed to. This team always puts up a lot of points on us, but I'm glad we got the win. They're really good offensively.
Caitlin Clark's recent record-shattering performance, in which she scored 35 points and broke an 18-year-old record, solidified her position as one of the brightest stars in women's basketball. This achievement represents not just another milestone in her career, but also highlights her immense talent and potential to influence the future of the sport.
Once you see the ball go through the basket a little bit, like, I still had a few in and outs. I'm like, man, how's it not going in? But I felt like I played a good game. My shot felt well. I thought we could have moved the ball a little bit better, but overall, I thought we played well. Our defense could have been a little bit better, especially to start the game. But I'm proud of this group, and I'm really thankful for these fans. It's been a fun season inside here, and hopefully we can bring the playoffs back here for a few times for them as well.
Clark's journey from a standout high school player to a college phenom and now a record-breaking WNBA star is a testament to her skill, work ethic, and ability to rise to the occasion when it matters most.
Yeah, it was great. Honestly, it was a lot of fun. I thought we came in here and we competed hard. That was the thing. Like, we knew they were going to want to win. So we came out with the same mindset of wanting to win. I think we were down 2 at halftime, and I thought we started the third quarter really strong, and that's what kind of set the tone for that whole second half. And then never hurts when Enrique gets really hot like that. It's just kind of like give her the ball and let her do her thing. And that's probably the main reason we won, was because of her.
The 35-point performance that set the new rookie record was not an isolated moment, but a culmination of years of hard work and preparation. Clark, known for her range, poise, and relentless drive, has been on a steady trajectory to stardom since she began making headlines in her high school days. Even before she entered college basketball, Clark was already seen as a generational talent, with her shooting ability and basketball IQ far beyond her years.
Super proud of her, but I think she does a lot of things for us that don't show up in the box score too. Like, she's all over the floor. I mean, she guards their best player all night, so I'm just really proud of her. She's our X factor, so let's.
When she played for the Iowa Hawkeyes in college, she quickly became the face of the program, breaking records and drawing attention from fans and analysts alike. Clark was consistently putting up eye-popping numbers, leading her team deep into tournaments and leaving a lasting impression on every game she played. Her transition to the WNBA was seamless. From her first games in the league, it was clear that Caitlin Clark was not just another rookie trying to find her footing.
Splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane. That should be celebrated, and it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up.
She immediately became the centerpiece of her team's offense, showcasing her versatility and range on the court. Her ability to score from beyond the arc, drive to the basket, and hit free throws with laser-like accuracy made her an offensive juggernaut. Defenses struggled to contain her, often resorting to double-teaming her, but that didn't stop Clark from finding ways to score. Her basketball IQ allowed her to read defenses and make adjustments mid-game, a rare quality even among the most seasoned players. What made Clark's 35-point game so remarkable was the way she achieved it. It wasn't just about putting up points, it was about how she controlled the game.
I thought we just kept chipping away. We got stops when we needed to, and then the crowd was amazing and helped us get it done. So
Clark hit shots from deep, showing off her trademark three-point shooting ability, while also driving into the paint and finishing strong at the rim. Her free throw shooting was flawless, and she made key plays on defense and in the rebounding game. Clark was involved in every aspect of her team's performance, proving that she is not just a scorer, but a well-rounded player capable of impacting the game in multiple ways.
I mean, I think it's been, it's been happening, prior even to this team. This momentum, this wave, that we're feeling, it has been sort of this kind of journey for women's basketball to get the attention that it is, getting at this point.
Her ability to excel in all facets of the game is what sets her apart from other players, and what made her 35-point performance so impressive. The record she broke, which had stood for 18 years, was previously held by Simone Augustus, a WNBA legend and one of the greatest players in the league's history.
Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
For Clark to surpass a record set by a player of Augustus's caliber speaks volumes about her talent and potential. Augustus was known for her scoring ability, and her rookie record was a testament to her dominance early in her career.
Any other player we have ever seen in the women's game, and it starts with the distance with which she shoots the basketball. We've never seen a player shoot from that deep range with that kind of efficiency.
Caitlin Clark is starting to push Asia Wilson for MVP of this league, and I am not exaggerating. She is starting to push Asia as the best player in the league because I don't see anybody control a game the way Caitlin can.
For Caitlin Clark to break that record not only places her among elite company, but also suggests that she has the potential to build a legacy that could rival or even surpass some of the all-time greats in the sport. Beyond the statistics and records, what truly makes Caitlin Clark special is her competitive spirit. She has an insatiable desire to win, and that drive is what fuels her on the court.
As a scorer, like when you see a couple go down like that, like you just have all the confidence in the world. The basket looks really big, so I know exactly how she felt. Like she was just in the zone. Like, and really, they played good defense multiple times. Like, there's just nothing you can do in those situations where she's making step back threes, one-legged floaters, things like that. Like, you literally cannot guard it. And like I said on the broadcast, like in my eyes, she's the best one-on-one player in this league. Like, she just has that skill. Like, she can get whatever shot whenever she wants it. That's how good she is with the ball. So it was fun to watch. Like, that's exciting for me. Like, I haven't always been on that side of it where, you have a teammate that goes kind of crazy like that. So
whether it's a regular season game or a playoff matchup, Clark approaches every game with the same intensity and focus. Her leadership on the court is evident. She commands respect from her teammates and leads by example. Her passion for the game is contagious, and it's clear that she elevates the performance of everyone around her. This ability to inspire and lead is a trait shared by the greatest athletes in any sport, and Clark possesses it in abundance.
There is a lot of appropriate attention on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and we found out that the Fever Storm game from over the weekend drew 2.2 million viewers, which is massive. The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers averaged, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
As Clark continues to break records and dominate on the court, she is also helping to grow the visibility and popularity of women's basketball. Her success is shining a spotlight on the WNBA and encouraging more fans to tune in and support the league. Clark is part of a new generation of players who are pushing the boundaries of what is possible in women's basketball. Her incredible range, scoring ability, and overall impact on the game are helping to redefine what it means to be a star in the league. In a shocking turn of events, Caitlin Clark, one of the most talked-about stars in women's basketball, made headlines when she unexpectedly requested to join the Minnesota Lynx in the middle of a live press conference.